Hey, this is Classic Cosplay. Unfortunately, I just got back from New York Comic Con this past weekend, so my lenses I brought there ended up falling off the mask and they cracked and split. So I have to make new ones. I'm currently working on that right now. And as I was reassembling this mask and putting the lenses on this one, the lens fell out and these lenses fractured. So I don't look my best, and it's been probably what the most stressful part of my cosplay is, and figuring it all out, but that's not the point here. My favorite part, at least when it comes to comfortability for my cosplay, definitely has to be... Oh, jeez. I would probably have to say... I don't know. I wanted to say the mask, but I think it's because the mask makes me feel the most comfortable in the suit as a whole. Because if I'm just wearing the Spider-Man suit without the mask, no one cares. And I don't either, because I'm just another guy wearing the suit. When you have the mask, it's completely different. The kids love it.
Hey guys, I'm Webmouth. You might know me from a couple of my cosplays, like my black suit and my advanced suit. But I just wanted to take a quick second to thank Bugle Talks and Just Diaz. Justin, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. So for me, when it comes to cosplay, some of the most comfortable things I find, there's kind of like a two-part answer to that. For me, it's what feels good, and then in a less physical, more cerebral sense, what does cosplay do for me? In a physical sense, with most of my stuff, because most of them just happen to be the webhead, a lot of that comes down to what feels good on me. Most of the time, colored fabrics are always going to feel nicer, and wrist zippers for ease of movement. I mean, we've all been there where we need a text or we need to eat while we're on a con. Doing that with suits without zippers just isn't it, right? In a cerebral sense, the most comfortable thing about cosplay is the community, at least for me. I know in general, we're human. Most communities don't stay good for long, and there's a lot of highs and lows with cosplay. 100%, right? I'll agree to that, full stop. But with Spider-Man, from what I've seen anyway, we tend to have very strong highs. Now, yes, we do have low lows, but we're a community that's very steadfast and trying to get those that are causing those issues out. Kind of impressively, it just sucks that there's such a big caseload, but also you can make an argument that he's the most popular character, so like it tracks, unfortunately. But in general, with the upside, the comfortableness of being a Spider-Man cosplayer comes from feeling like I'm not alone. Comes from feeling like there's others that know what I'm doing, know what I'm trying to design, and know what it's like to be a Spider-Man cosplayer. That is what's probably the most comfortable thing for me.
So the most comfortable thing about this cosplay particularly, and I actually have it right here. So this is my No Way Home end credit suit. As you can see by the pattern and as well as the tech lines, it is a little outdated given the new set photos. Most comfortable thing, two things about the cosplay. Definitely the shell. Definitely have a little bit, I think it's like another ½ inch of room so I can talk more naturally. Because I have a very expressive face under this thing. So having that ½ inch in this shell makes it a heck of a lot more comfortable. But the thing that I'm most proud of on this suit particularly, I did get this from Keon specifically. That was Chemtacular. That's who it was. Chemtacular Cosplays. Check it out if you haven't already. But the thing that I did myself is the shoes. Now, these were just socks originally, but what I did was I got these generic Walmart knockoff Vans for this little like slip and structure, so that way it slips on similar to a Kung Fu shoe, but it's a little less difficult. And I added these red treads. Now, these were already had memory foam insoles inside, And so the soles on the actual shoes were fabric. So it actually made it a lot easier for the glue to actually bond between the rubber, the fabric of the suit, and the fabric of the sole itself. And so these shoes and this shell are definitely the most comfortable parts of this suit specifically.
The most comfortable thing about my suit, in my opinion, is it is cozy. I mean, there have been some times I've done events in my suit and I came home and I'm so tired and I just go straight on my bed and just fall asleep in the suit. The mask isn't on, but and some of the best sleep of my life, I tell you what.
Hey guys, I'm Perfectly Speedy. I don't think you guys know me, a lot of you guys know me, but I'm a Spider-Man cosplayer, just like a lot of other people. Now, and the most comfortable thing about being Spider-Man, just feeling like having this, and pretty much anyone could cosplay as it. As Stanley said, everyone can wear the mask, so I don't look like Peter Parker or specifically like Spider-Man, but I can still wear this suit, and that's really cool to me. And I think for a lot of other people. I mean, other than I like Spider-Man so much, and that's why I cosplay as him.
Hello, it is Alex the Guy here. I'm here responding to Diaz's question, and a great question. What is the most comfortable thing in my suit? It really depends, because for face shells, they're not too bad. I'm sure you can actually hear me talking pretty well. It can get stuffy, but I think the real thing of comfort is, I think it's whenever I put the foam in the shell. Because whenever I construct a shell, I go ahead and put foam the same way that Zach does with his, where he puts like a foam diamond here and then some on the chin and some on the nose. And so that makes it way more bearable. But if I had to say the most comfortable thing, I would say it's the suit itself, because I know a lot of people don't really like sitting in spandex for a while, but I actually don't mind it. Especially the Iron Spider one that I have. It's made of a shiny spandex latex type of thing, and it's surprisingly breathable. Like the last time that I went to a con with my friend, we both were like, wow. We were surprised how fine we felt, like the entire time. We pretty much had our masks on the entire time, and we had no issue. It was not too bad.
Hey guys, it's Olympian Spider here, and I am one of the lucky few that have been chosen to be interviewed and questioned for the opening of the amazing Bugle Talk Season 2, hopefully. One of the couple of questions I've been asked was, what is the most comfortable thing about me being in my cosplay? And for me personally, it's showing off my muscles, like my gym stuff, because I used to not be fit, but believe it or not, if you guys have seen my stuff on Instagram and oh, he's really buff, he's really big, I didn't look like that. That's like multiple years of blood, sweat, and tears of busting my butt, dieting, working out, all the things to finally get to where I am now. And that's what makes me comfortable about it. I had to get to where I am physically just so I could put a suit on, because I was that self-conscious. Sometimes the body dysmorphia hits me a little bit every now and then, especially with what I have now. But that's every gym freak. They all have that. So that's one of the confident things I like to show off in cosplay, is like my gym progress. So yeah, that's one of my confident attributes I like to show off.
For me, the most comfortable thing about wearing my cosplays is, most of them are made out of sweatsuits and like jumpers and stuff. So It's a pretty casual Spider-Man look I have anyway. But yeah, I'd say that's one of the biggest contributing factors.
How has cosplay affected my life? I have always, and I'm sure like many others, have always wanted a Spider-Man suit. From when I was a kid, watching the first Spider-Man movies, then it even amped up with more with the Amazing Spider-Man series. And I just wanted one so bad, but at that time there wasn't a lot of research, there wasn't a lot of things to go about it. And it was just so expensive on that one site that I'm sure we all know, RPC Print, whatever it is, I don't even know because I don't look at it anymore. And then stuff started to come out. I got one for my birthday. It's phenomenal. I got another one more recently, but that's something else. And doing this led me to find a group in my area called PGH, Cosplay for a Cause, or Pittsburgh Cosplay for a Cause, which is a community group designed to go to events, whether they be like sports events like the Steelers or the Pirates or the Riverhounds here in Pittsburgh, or even just like a charity event to raise awareness for children's cancer, or just to visit children with cancer, whether it be in the hospital or when they're getting their photo taken and they want to dress up as their favorite superhero. Getting to be that superhero that they see is probably the most rewarding part about dressing up. I love dressing up because it's fun, but it means so much more to me when I can actually go out and make a child happier. I really don't think there's a better feeling than it. And I am so grateful and proud of myself even for deciding to step outside my comfort zone a bit and put on the suit, even if I wasn't sure I would look good, because it made me happy, and now I get to make other people feel happy because of it. So, go Spidey, go cosplay. Thank you for asking these questions.
How's cosplay changed my life? Well, I mean, cosplay has low-key kind of become part of my life. Without cosplay, I would not be anywhere nearly as nerdy. Probably would be in a better financial situation, if I'm being honest. I mean, yeah, I can admit to that. Doesn't help I'm a D&D player as well, so you know, there's that. But, no, when it comes to cosplay, I've gotten friends that I wouldn't have otherwise. I've maintained friendships because we like to cosplay, because we like to do shoots together. You'll see me tag them so often in my stories and in my posts, and it's because genuinely cosplay builds friendships, builds communities, and that to me is what cosplay is all about. Thank you guys, and thank you again, Justin, for having me on. See you later, true believers.
So, there are a number of ways that cosplay's impacted my life, be it the friends that I've made, the events I've gone to, the experiences I've had, and self-actualization, positive body image. It's a lot of things. But the one way that cosplay has impacted my life the most is it is directly involved in how I met my fiance, the woman who was going to be my wife. Her name is Liz, by the way. And I was at MomoCon 2023. And I'd gone through a rough patch in my life. I won't get into it. But me and my friend Tommy were staying in downtown Atlanta for MomoCon towards the Georgia World Congress Center. Did that. And there was a Spider-Verse Guinness World Records attempt. Trying to get the most amount of people in a room dressed as Spider-Man, promoted by Oscar Isaac. It was very, very slapdash, very quickly done. This was just before Across the Spider-Verse had came out. So that, and in that moment, we were walking around, I think it was the dealer's hall actually, and this girl named Jess, this Asian girl named Jess, ran up to me. I was dressed in a classic, like Mark Bagley inspired spider suit. She ran up to me, pointed at me. We took a couple pictures, and later in the day, and then we just went on. Later in the day, changed into my Last Dance suit. Saw Jess again. Kept seeing Jess throughout the con. And we ended up becoming friends. And later on down the line, this was in May of 23, then July of 23 came around. I was planning a karaoke event, and I was like inviting so many people, and then only 2 showed up. My friend Charlie, who I also met at MomoCon 2023, as well as Jess. I invited both of them to the karaoke event. And I, partially as a joke, partially as a cry for help, texted Jess saying, "Hey, do you have any friends? I'm single AF." And turns out she did. She did have a friend who was available. And that was Liz. That was Liz. And we met at this karaoke event, and we were waiting for like 2 hours, and then they showed up. It was like July. I was in a tin building in boots and jeans and a Venom t-shirt and Doc Martens. That's what it was. Manure for 2 minutes and 30 seconds before they called me up, and they said, "Oh, is Gio still here?" Gio being my actual name. And and so I got up there, sang Ronnie James Dio's "The Last in Line," and in her words, I killed it. And she said, "I was I'm very impressed." And of course, I depleted all the oxygen in my brain while singing that long song, and I had forgotten her name. And yet somehow, it took me an hour to tell her she had beautiful blue eyes. And it was very much a push and pull when she tells a story where we were both flirting, but we weren't sure if the other was flirting or being nice until I asked for her number at the end of the night. And we had our first date not too long after that, and she asked me to be her boyfriend. And of course, she was in pharmacy school, and she had to move kind of far, and it was like 4 hours away. I was like, "Is that a deal breaker for you?" And I said, "You had this all set up before you met me. Who am I to keep you from your dreams?" And we've made it work ever since. And if you look at my Instagram, there's so much content with her and me together, in spider suits. This past Dragon Con, I was Dr. Doom, she was Goblin Queen, or like Batman and Catwoman, and I always look back, if I hadn't pursued cosplay like I had been, if I hadn't been as big of a fan of the webhead as I had been, if I hadn't been myself, if I hadn't chased the things that I wanted to do, if I let fear hold me back, I wouldn't have met the love of my life. And now I actually have this ring. When I proposed to her in Edinburgh, Scotland, I'm going to show you it real quick. I don't even know if you could see all the details on it, but the focus might not help. It is, in fact, a Spider-Man Enzo ring she had in her bag with her because she anticipated that I was going to propose to her outside of St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. And yeah, so cosplay helped me not only meet but land the most wonderful woman in the world. And truth be told, I couldn't be happier with the choices that I've made. So yeah, cosplay is a pretty big deal in my life, I'd say. And I am forever thankful for it. And thankful for the love of my life. So yeah, this might be a long one.
Cosplay's changed my life in a pretty big way. I mean, Springfield Spider-Man is one of my really good friends, and I honestly, he gave me the suit because I said I wanted to go out with him one time, and we went out as Spider-Man, and we gave donuts to the homeless. And while we were giving out donuts, and we were taking pictures of people and stuff, we were at a coffee shop, and this kid came up to me and was, so excited to see Spider-Man, and that, like, thanking us for keeping the city safe and stuff, and he gave me a hug. And I mean, that made me feel so good about myself, helping people in any way I can and bringing a smile to people's face. And that's how it's changed my life. It gave me a calling, pretty much.
And cosplay has changed my life a bit. I mean, I got more specifically Instagram has changed my life because I discovered so many other people that like me, like cosplay, and I have the chance to chat with them, and they all seem like genuinely fun people and cool. It's just awesome. This cosplay community is really cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's still awesome. Hi.
The second question, how has cosplay changed my life? It has completely changed my life. I mean, when I made that Iron Spider post and Radical reposted it, and I got like 400 likes out of nowhere. I was getting noticed by like so many cosplayers that I looked up to. It was just insane to me. That one post just boosted my career so much, and I am so thankful for it. I really cannot thank him enough. I know he's on hiatus right now, but Radical, I love you, man. You're the one that made it happen. This shell, not this shell, I had to make a new one, but the original shell, because this is just the Fortnite shell, you started everything, man, so thank you so much. But as for how cosplay has affected me, man, it has changed my life. It's brought me so many good friends. It's brought me people that I never thought I would meet. My best friend I met through Pokemon Go, but kept meeting him through cosplay, and through him I've met so many great people. I've started reconnecting with old mates in the cosplay scene, and I'm even talking to some new people that I have a nice interest in. They're really awesome. Cosplay has changed my life for so much, and I can't be thankful enough. I'm on my way to 300 followers on Insta. It's just insane. I started cosplay back in like 2021 with some cheap print costume suits with attached lenses, and it was not it. Switching to face shells really changed everything, and just made my suits go from that level to this level. Like, I truly cannot put into words how much cosplay has changed my life, and I really am honored just to be a part of it. It really means the world to me. So, Diaz, thank you so much. I look forward to our interview, and that's Alex the Guy signing off.
And another one of the questions was, how has cosplaying affected my life? Sorry, that's something in my throat there. It affected my life a lot. So, believe it or not, what made me get into the cosplaying Spider-Man and stuff, because I've always loved Spider-Man, obviously, but what made me get into it was because I saw Capital cosplay for the first time. Capital cosplay. He looked amazing, and I was like, damn, I want to do that. I want to get in on it. So then, I started somewhere, bought some suits off Amazon, and then over time I went to other platforms, like internet platforms, to buy suits and stuff, and then now I got a 3D printer, slowly trying to work my way up from there. But how it's changed my life is that it's given me confidence. It also gives me, like I said in my last thing, it gives me an excuse to actually go to the gym and stuff, because like, if I didn't cosplay, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, I'd have no reason to go to the gym. I really wouldn't, honestly. But it gives me motivation. That's how it's changed me. It's given me motivation. The Spider-Man motivation, he never quits. You don't quit either. Remember, you get knocked down, you always get back up. Spider-Man always does.
Cosplay has affected my life in that it makes me feel a lot more free to actually express myself in a way. I've always liked Spider-Man since I was a kid. I mean, I'm in my 20s now, and ever since I can remember, he's always had a huge influence on my life, and yeah, I think it lets me connect with my inner child a little bit, I guess, and it also allows me to just be myself and have fun and meet an awful lot of people that are like-minded like me. And I think that's what Spider-Man's all about.